Okay, so I've been silent for longer than usual, and I've been almost completely away from the internet for nearly 2 weeks now. But things still happen while I'm away, and the first thing I noticed as I came back online was that Jacques Villeneuve has been removed from Vanwall, so let's discuss that situation. So this will be based on several articles that I came over, but I'll try to link a few in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. And it seemed to be good that I didn't look into this right away, as there has been some development since the first articles came out. Anyway, Vanwall has decided to replace Jacques Villeneuve for the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which I have to say I found rather strange when I first read it, as the team did seem quite excited to have Jacques join the team, and also he's already competed in 3 races, so why change now? Well, Jacques has been involved in some incidents over those 3 races, as well as the prologue. I don't know if these were Jacques' fault, the one in Portimao surely weren't, as the brakes exploded. But these incidents are part of the reason for his removal, which I suppose is understandable. You don't really want incidents at Le Mans, and Vanwall haven't been the best at keeping out of trouble this far into the season. The other reason, according to Colin Coles, is his lack of mileage, which is true, but he has been driving for 3 races now, so I don't know. I feel like he should be getting a decent understanding of the car, how to manage through traffic, and whatever else the WEC offers. But of course, there's a huge difference between the 6-hour races we have seen until now and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And the team has said that they currently don't feel like Jacques is ready for the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which obviously they would know a lot better than me, but Villeneuve was still listed as their driver for Monza, so the replacements seem to only be for Le Mans, for all I know anyway. But after the news of Jacques being replaced got out, he responded with quitting the WEC for the season, so clearly he wasn't too happy about it, which I can understand, with the 24 Hours of Le Mans being the highlight of the season and a race that most drivers would love to participate in, so being replaced just 2 weeks before the race, and not just that, all the preparation and training, yeah, I can understand his frustration. And it's a shame. I mean, Jacques Villeneuve is of course a familiar face to most, and I think a lot of people would love to see him at Le Mans, me included. But I don't know, I feel like maybe he should have stuck with the team and see if he would be replaced for the next races as well, because if he wasn't to be replaced, he could have gathered some experience from the last few races and hope to be picked up by a bigger team next year. Anyway, he has stated that he is planning to come back next year with a more successful and professional fulfilling 2024 season, so let's hope. But apparently the replacement took him by surprise, as he claims to not have been given any notice before Vanwall announced it publicly, which seemed real shitty by Vanwall if true, and I really hope that it isn't true, because it seemed very unprofessional, and I'd hope that teams show drivers more respect than that. Colin Coles, the big boss at Vanwall, has insisted that the decision to bringing in a replacement has been made with the full agreement of Villeneuve, so I'm not quite sure what to make of it. And there is more weirdness here, as motorsport.com writes that they have seen email evidence that allegedly shows that Villeneuve made the decision to quit before the announcement of the replacement, so it's a really strange situation. But let's look at who Vanwall has chosen to replace Jacques Villeneuve, because if they are worried about Jacques' experience, they can't just pick anyone. And the man they have chosen is Tristan Vautier, whom I'm not familiar with at all and don't know how to pronounce that name, so I'm sorry. But he certainly does have experience, having been part of the Team JDC for the last 3 years, running the Cadillac DPI in IMSA. So whether he'll be driving for just the 24 Hours of Le Mans or the rest of the season as well will be interesting to see, because if he's not running the last 3 races too, then Vanwall will be missing a driver. Anyway, Jacques Villeneuve has been replaced, and sadly that's the end of the season for him. I'm not necessarily a fan of Jacques, but he carries a massive name in motorsport, and I think many people appreciate seeing him on track and in the championship. I at least have been enjoying seeing him on track, and although he haven't been the fastest driver, he's not really driving the most competitive car anyway. but being involved in incidents does of course reflect negatively on the driver, and if Bike Halls, or Vanwall rather, feels he's not ready for Le Mans, then I'm not going to argue against that. But there is something weird about this whole situation, and I'm not sure what to believe. But that's it. What are your thoughts on the Villeneuve situation? Let me know in the comments. Do the YouTube things, like, subscribe and whatnot if you feel like it. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. And now I'll return to The Outer Worlds, which I'm absolutely loving recently. And yeah, goodbye.